Welcome to Whiskey's the Journey. My name is Peter Fasciano, and you are watching my Monday series on single barrel bourbons. Today, we're going to be leaving the Four Roses Distillery, and we're going to be heading over to Lynchburg, Tennessee, and look at Jack Daniel's, a Tennessee whiskey. Specifically, we're going to be taking a look at the single barrel proof. So just like always, let's go ahead and pour it, nose it, taste it, talk about it, and then if you stick around until the end, I'm going to give it a score. Now, I know there's that debate out there, the controversy or people talking about Tennessee whiskey versus bourbon. For my purposes, this fits under the umbrella of bourbon, but it is basically considered, and most people consider it, a Tennessee whiskey. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the nose, and I can already tell you it is like a tremendous amount of banana and cherry. Yeah, this smells fantastic. If you're new to the channel, in 2022, this was actually one of my whiskeys of the year. Back behind that banana cherry note, there's a good amount of cinnamon. There's some barrel char, lots of candy bar sweetness, vanilla. This just smells absolutely fantastic. It is definitely one of the most robust whiskeys I have in my collection. All right, so those were the initial notes. Let's get into this specific single barrel. Like I just mentioned, Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. This bottle is coming in at 63.6% ABV, which is 127.2 proof. The mash bill for Jack Daniel's is 80% corn, 12% rye, and 8% malted barley. Now I'm going to read directly from the bottle here. The barrel number is 22-07792, and it is barreled 9/21/22. It's a 750 milliliter bottle, and the time that I purchased this in Phoenix, Arizona, it was $68.99. I do believe until recently, none of the Jack Daniels were age stated. This is a non-age stated, and I actually have a second bottle over here on the shelf, and that's coming in at 132.3 proof. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the nose again. Rich, dark, sweet, banana, cherry, cinnamon, barrel char, vanilla, maybe a little bit of leather, tobacco. Let's go ahead and get it on the palate. Dark, rich, mouth coating. It kind of fills every single part of your palate. The ABV is pretty high, but I don't think it is overpowering in any way. That also could just be the point that I am in my journey. I'm a little bit more tolerant to higher proof pours, and this is definitely up there with one of the highest proofs that I have in my collection. There's a good amount of oak, bitterness, or tannin that's setting into the side of my tongue. From the arrival to the mid palate to the back, it elevates in sweetness. You get a good amount of banana and cherry, that cinnamon, the vanilla, the barrel char, all of that comes through. It's a deep, rich, dark, heavy type pour, and I like it quite a bit. Let's go ahead and get that second sip in, see if I can pull anything else out of it, add a little bit of water to it, and then move on to the score. Yeah, on that second sip, more of the same. It's delicious. Banana, cherry, cinnamon, barrel char, all of that comes through. Get a good amount of chocolate candy bar along with that leather and tobacco note. It just hits the spot. It's very, very difficult for me to find fault in this. I like how it just coats and settles in, and it kind of basically sets up camp. It's a pretty long finish. And I will say, if you don't like that banana cherry note, then you're probably not going to like this. But I am going to add maybe 2 or 3 drops of water here, just because it's so high proof. I want to see if the water will change it a little bit. Not many drops at all, maybe 2 or 3. And like I had mentioned, I'm not really going to get too much into the history of Jack Daniel's. You can jump onto their website, and it takes you through a whole slew of their backstory. But the one thing that I did find interesting is when Jack Daniel's ended up kicking a safe. He came into work and he was frustrated that he couldn't get into a safe, and he kicked it and he broke his toe. And apparently the broken toe led to an infection, which led to his death. And I do believe he passed away in 1910 due to that injury. He wasn't married and he didn't have any kids. So when he ended up passing away, prior to him passing away, he ended up giving the distillery and the property to his nephew, Lem Motlow. I think that's how you pronounce it. And then from that point, I'm not necessarily sure about the family history here, but I do have Lem Motlow taking over in 1907. And then we have a slew of master distillers: Jess Motlow, Lem Tolly, Jess Gamble, Frank Bobo, not sure which one that is, Jimmy Bedford, Jeff Arnett, and then the newest, most recent master distiller is Chris Fletcher. So that's pretty much it. If you want to know a little bit more, like I said, go to their website and they have a slew of timelines there that go through Prohibition, World War II, the rise and the fall of bourbon or Tennessee whiskey, Lincoln County process. All right, so with the water, it looks like it smells like that banana cherry note is a little bit less in the glass, more cinnamon, more barrel chars coming through. That vanilla is up front and present as well. Candy bar, leather, tobacco, all of that is still there. I don't really necessarily think the water changed it that much, but let's go ahead and get it on the palate and see how it does. Much more spice forward. That cinnamon, there's now a pepper note, different than the ethanol burn. Cherry vanilla is still there. It's got a creamy note to it. I would say somewhere along the lines of a banana split with whipped cream and the cherry on top. So all of those notes are in there along with a candy bar, like a milk chocolate candy bar, a little bit of tobacco, a little bit of leather. Like I had mentioned, this hits my palate really, really well. I'm a big fan of the banana cherry, that barrel char, the vanilla, the creaminess. All right, let's go ahead and get onto the scoring system. If you are new here, my scoring system is out of 5 stars. And just like I already said, everything about this hits my palate just right. The cherry, the banana, the cinnamon, the barrel char, the vanilla, the weightiness of it, just the overall experience of this sits right with me. And because of that, I'm going to end up giving this 4.5 stars. And that score that I'm giving it is going to be based on the individual single barrel bourbons that I'm doing. I can't compare this to anything that I've had in the past. The Japanese, the Irish, the Scotch, any of the American single malts. These individual series that I do on Monday are going to be standalone. So all of the scores that I'm going to be giving my single barrel bourbons, or Tennessee whiskey in this case, are all going to be based on this individual series. So let me know in the comments down below how you refer to this. Do you consider it to be the Tennessee whiskey? Do you refer to it as a bourbon? Have you had any of the Jack Daniel's single barrel proofs? And if so, what proofs do your bottles come in at? Do all those things that YouTubers ask you to do: like, subscribe, share, turn on that bell notification, because I produce videos and release them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that's where I'm going to leave it today. So I hope you guys are enjoying your journey wherever you're at in your journey. And until the next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye.